Wow, do you see this big, huge book? This is one I got way back in 1980s when you still got books. Look at how big and how thick this is. It's heavy, but you don't have to do that anymore. All of this information is available online, and Matthew is going to show you how to get every single piece you need. So do you need home improvements? Do you need to work on your entrepreneurship? What is it that you really need some help with? And there is so much money out there that the government's giving away. It's up to date. He has everything online. You don't need this big, heavy book anymore. Check out Matthew Lesko's webpage after you check out this podcast. Thanks so much for being here, and thank you for being a part of Wisdom on the Front Porch. Hello and welcome to another episode of Wisdom on the Front Porch. And on my front porch today, we have energy flowing. We have Matthew Lesko here, and I remember how energetic and amazing and just wild and crazy. And I loved your commercials. I just loved them for your book. And the book was great. You know, I ordered when I was shocked how thick it was when it came, but so many good things in there. A lot of things that, you know, were there from my parents who lived in a rural area where there weren't a lot of options available. And so I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything that you do. I know that's a lot of work, but the rest of the audience may not know who you are. So who is Matthew Lesko?
Well, that's nice of you to say. It's a privilege to do something that winds up to be important, you know, to somebody. And that's what we're here, is to help other people, love other people as hard as we can, to give as much as we can. That's why I don't understand how life, you know, so much of it is how little you can do. Sound right. What do you want to do?
I agree with that.
It's like, what do you want to do? Just love a little? No, loving hard is good. You know? And so even like, oh, you want to play basketball against a 5-year-old? You could win. That's easy, but that's not growing. That's not doing anything for you. And I think it's finding something. And then I think the trick is what we're good at, so we could give it more than anybody else. And that's, I think, the struggle we all have to face. So work doesn't become work if we love doing what we want to do.
That's right. That's right.
Then you could do it better than anybody else. And
I've talked with a lot of entrepreneurs who do what they love.
Absolutely.
And they say it's a struggle at first because things seem so easy to work for somebody else, but you know, it's the rewards are so much bigger and so much better. By doing
it's sort
what
of
you
like a relationship.
Love.
You know, if you have an individual relationship and you think it's going to be easy, no, it's going to be hard.
That's right. That's right. Now, before we get much further, I want to make sure that people understand that are viewing this. I'm wearing my gray sweatshirt that has a Scars and Stripes coffee bean on it. Scars and Stripes is a great entity that helps our veterans who are wounded to start getting an income of some kind.
Great.
The way I found out about this was from Sean Ram. It's SEANRAMM, who was selling coffee at the Saturday markets at the local town we were at. And it is really, really good coffee. So I'm doing a shout out for Scars and Stripes today, and you can go to their website and order coffee and tell them you're supporting Sean Ram.
Wonderful. Now, you know, I think vets. I used to give talks over the Walter Reed Hospital after the war in Iraq and the people coming home, and I said, God, I mean, we have a lot of veterans programs, but to me, those people should be first in line for every program. Veteran programs are just a small little piece of what the benefits of living America is. And they should be first in line. Somebody's going to put their ass on the line, you know, for the rest of us. They should be first in benefits because, see, our country, I don't know, I didn't know this till recently. I've been in the business a long time. Our country is 40% of our country. This is all the economy in our country. And it's split into two big pieces. One is capitalism, you know, and this is the yellow part, and that's Google. And the other it is the community. This is the community economy where we're helping each other, and that's government and nonprofit organizations. So they're the people that help the veterans or your mom, that needed help and things like that were there for each other, and they don't charge. And people don't realize how big this portion of our economy is. Everybody talks about this stuff, and that's important, but it's only 60%. 40% is all this other stuff that we don't know how to access because none of this is in Google.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm
trying to.
Yeah. That's boy, I'm still a lone wolf too. I don't see anybody else doing this stuff. And I've been doing it for 50 years. I must not be aware of something that everybody else sees and I don't. But I figure I've about 10, 12 years left to do this, and I don't think I'll ever find anything more important to do. There's nothing more important to help other people. And if you have something that could help other people, that is selfish. No, but it's selfish to give. I mean, that's what I feel. Giving is the most selfish thing in the world because it feels so good. Yeah.
Oh, it is. There's nothing better than that.
Yeah,
in fact, I know days when I am feeling down, I go find somebody to help.
I'll give you something if you give me something. No, don't. You're cutting out yourself a lot. You're hurting yourself, because you don't feel the joy. I remember thinking of one of my children growing up, and I was, got angry at what they're doing, and I sort of closed my heart to them because they did something. And I realized, boy, I'm just hurting myself.
Yeah.
I'm not hurting anyone. If I'm not loving him, then I'm really just hurting myself. Now, that's stupid.
Yeah, and you're missing out. You're so missing out.
Yeah. So I'm trying to really help people where to go. It's not in Google. And there's places that anybody can go. And they don't need me. Can you go online while we're talking? I show you something. You're not sure?
I've never done that with here, so
just open up another tab.
I don't know if we can.
Oh,
hi, Pat.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, you found me.
Yeah.
She's trying to find another tab, and she found you instead. I want to show her how to get onto a big free website, not ours.
Wow.
Okay, jumping off now.
Well, let me see if I can find it. I think I found it. Wow, this is a new experience. I'm enjoying this. I like to learn new things.
So you got a place to put a URL?
So there. Can you see my screen?
Oh, yes, I do. Okay. So put in findhelp.org. FIND. HELP.
Oh, I spelled it wrong. HELP.
Yeah.
That's why you couldn't find it. Find help. I need help spelling. I tell you, I have
I do
words.
too. I flunked English all the time.
There we go. Findhelp.org.
Yeah. Okay. Now put in your zip code in Texas, wherever you are.
Okay. Wow. That is a lot of programs available.
Right. So in your zip code, that tells you have 2,426 programs from nonprofit organizations and government offices that give you money and free services.
Wow.
I mean, I just think that's phenomenal.
Oh, that is.
Okay, then go up here again. Let's say you want to fix your home.
Okay, go to housing.
No, go up on the search thing up on the left-hand corner there.
Oh.
See, it says zip code or program name up on, there. Yeah, why don't you put in home repair? And see what programs are available for home repair where you live.
There you go.
Is it coming up? I don't see it.
Oh, you can't see it?
Oh, they didn't show. How many programs do you have? Can you tell?
It shows
Oh,
2.
there they are. Oh, it's gone.
Okay, let me go back.
It was there.
And there we go. Okay, yeah, it
Okay.
shows 2 of them.
So, okay. Oh boy, there should be more than that. Best matches. Go down further. See what's underneath there. Can you slide down further?
Mm-hmm.
Are you seeing more than just the 2, or is there just 2 there?
Well, there's some different programs, but I don't. Well, it says there's a total of 152 altogether.
152 of programs of people who give you money for home repair.
Wow.
See? And that once you backspace, not back, the little arrows to go back and put in another thing like rent. If you have trouble paying rent.
There's
152.
program.
Yeah, wow. Oh, okay, go back again to start a new search. But you can't start within this one. It'll screw it up. You got to go back.
No, it won't let me go back. There we go. Okay, I'm going to give a different zip code here. Because I've got somebody who
that's okay. Okay, whatever you want.
They
Well, you see all the tabs on top for food, for housing, for goods, for transportation, healthcare, money, care, education, work, and legal. So the thousands of programs that are available for you to give you free help in all those subjects. And you won't find them in Google. See, that's what's important.
Wow. I'll have to share this with friends of mine.
Yes.
Everybody
you know.
Close the wrong tab. Yeah.
Let me do one other, because you deal with entrepreneurs and stuff, right?
Okay.
Okay, go up on top to put in SBA.gov.
Oh, yeah. I've been there before.
Okay. But after, you don't want to talk to the SBA. They don't have, but they have a database you want. And that's SBA.gov, SBA.gov/ and then local, small letters, - assistance. So SBA.gov/ local - assistance.
Or it was. How do I stop this?
It's not paying attention.
I don't know how to get out of screen sharing now.
Oh, I see. There you are.
Okay. No, it won't let me. Okay. Yeah, I don't know how to get back to the screen.
Okay, that's okay. But you get an idea that with find help is probably the best, more generic thing to use for everybody. And the thing to realize, you have to only contact organizations that end in .gov or .org. That means they're nonprofit or government. That means they don't advertise, so you won't see them in Google. That means they also will never charge you money. Okay, the people who advertise have to charge you money to pay for the advertising, and they're already paid, and so you don't have to worry about that. And this is kind of help that's free. And these organizations represent 40% of our economy that nobody knows about. And the other thing about this is the way to use these organizations is by using the telephone as much as possible. We're all become lazy, and because we just want to find an application and fill it out on the internet and wait for the money to come in. That probably won't happen because you have to find out the right application for you. And that only happens by talking with people. And there's so many people, like all those thousands and thousands of organizations are out there. They're getting paid to help you solve your problem. So they know that stuff, and they help people like you every day. So you want to tap into their brain to see, hey, okay, if you can't help me, you must know other people that know about this stuff that may be able to help me. And that's how you really solve the problem. You can't rifle in because it's too complicated on what the requirements are for any given program. So you have to talk to people. And then if you're not eligible for that program that you were looking at, then you ask them where else to go, because they're the best possible source to find other places that will be more to your liking, because they find this all the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
qualify. Just keep asking until you find one you do
absolutely
qualify.
right. It's like getting a date or getting a job or anything. You just keep going down the line and knocking on the door. And for business, that sba.com/local-assistance, what that is a database of people in your zip code that help your business for free. So they're the same thing, but just for entrepreneurs, or you want to start a nonprofit, any way that we want to make money out of the home or just make money. They're there to help you find money, help you find legal advice, help you find technical, any problem you can't overcome in your venture you want to do. They'll show you how to get it for free. Okay. And that's what you need, because otherwise you're going to Google and you'll say, I need legal help, and you get 2 billion websites that want to charge you $200 an hour or whatever it is for that. And that's crazy. You're not going to do anything. If you have money, you will.
All those free things out there that are already available to you.
And 40% of our economy is free.
Isn't that something?
I know.
Wow.
I just can't get over it.
That just opens up a whole lot of doors right there.
Absolutely. But also, to me, it releases talent. People sit there and I can't do anything because they go to Google and they find out they can't do it because they don't have money. You don't need money.
Yeah, you need resources.
All right. And
well, Matthew, I want to ask you, how did you get started in this? I know you've been doing it for quite a few years.
Yeah.
So how did you get started?
Failing.
Yeah.
Failed at everything else. Yeah. That's how you start stuff. And that's why you have to do things to fail, to find out what you really should be doing. You can't think of the perfect thing for you to do until you try a whole shitload. It's sort of like dating, or anything like that. You have to go, and the world is so complicated out there. We have no idea what the options are. So our little minds are so small compared to what's out there and what's changing every time. So we grow up with certain perceptions of things, and they're probably out of date and not useful anymore, or that universe is getting smaller and smaller, and the one that's growing and growing is a better opportunity because that's growing and looking for people. When I was teaching computer science in the 70s, where nobody had a degree in it at all, so I was taking a course at one university and teaching it on the other university. And keeping my students, just a week behind what I was learning. It's supply and demand. So nobody else to teach it, then I'm the best they got.
You talk about supply and demand. That was one of the things I think that really drew me to your commercial, besides the amazing energy you had, was that everybody needed help when you're young, you're starting out, you've got kids on the way. All of a sudden you're finding that paycheck maybe doesn't stretch as far as you think it does. And you talked about all these programs that were out there and so much that was available, and all you had to do was just go look at it, go see what was there. And I was shocked. I was absolutely shocked at how much is there. And it's still there. I'm glad to see that there's still so much there.
It grows
and I
every
know
year.
that we can't qualify for everything, but try.
Absolutely.
And then if you don't qualify, talk to somebody, because maybe you didn't do something quite right.
Right.
Maybe
Or
you thought
there's
it meant
other,
one thing and it meant something else.
exactly. And that's why even, what did we put in? Home repair. Well, you have 157 people who are giving out money. So if you
Yeah,
don't qualify for one, you got 156 left to check.
that's just amazing.
Yeah.
Um,
And that's what's important. Yeah,
yeah,
the help is
yeah,
out there, and people get discouraged because they're using Google. I think Google is the villain in all this, because we don't know our options, and we think our
right,
option
right.
is in Google, and all that is to sell you something.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
It's definitely a lot different from when I first started out, because I loved being able to um, search for, let me get my mind right. I needed some documents, research stuff that came from universities. I used to be able to just go straight to it. And,
right,
there were all the different search engines. Everybody was competing, and
right.
it was,
Oh,
it
I
was
remember
kind of fun to see who would
Gopher.
give you
Remember?
different things.
Do you remember
And now
Gopher?
it's all about the
Yeah,
sell, all about
exactly.
selling. And even though there's different search engines out there, they're
Yeah,
still competing for that.
absolutely.
And
Well,
and it's
here's
like,
what
why is it so hard to find stuff now?
here's what I like now is AI for now anyway. Maybe will change.
Right,
But because they don't advertise. When you search AI, they don't advertise. There's no advertisement. And
nice.
if you use these two words when you want to do a search, like, I'm looking for money to start a business in Texas, and I want to know nonprofit organizations and government offices that give me money or help to start a business. So if you say those two things, they're just going to tell you people no .coms, because it's the nonprofit and government are the only people who really give out legitimate grants. Everybody else wants your money.
Right,
So if you say
right.
that, you get only those. And I've never been disappointed. Yeah,
I'm going to have to look into that, because the
yeah,
nonprofit that we're still building, still getting everything together with it.
right,
That's all I want my nonprofit to do, is to support the other nonprofits, to
right,
raise the funds for their scholarships, for
mhm, right,
their aid to other people, because the programs are out there. They're great. They're
absolutely,
wonderful programs. I don't need to start another program. They're
right,
already there.
exactly,
But let's get them the money they need to give to the
right.
people.
Well, I
Yeah.
would do this if I were you. That website of sba.gov/local assistance. Go there, put in your zip code, and find nonprofit organizations that help you start your nonprofit organization. See, that's
Oh,
what they
there you
do.
go.
See,
Good thinking.
right. See, and that's what they do, and they'll sit down with you and help you. Maybe some of them don't like to do they only want to do companies, but most will also do nonprofits. So shop around a little bit. You have a nonprofit you want to start, and they will take you by the hand, never charge you a nickel, and help you on your way. Yeah,
Oh, that's really great. Yeah, because there's a lot to it. There's a lot more than what
yeah,
you would really think there was. Um,
exactly.
and you want to do it right. You want to get that solid foundation down there so you can
Right,
keep building on it.
right.
Yeah, yeah. Wow. So, how do you find all of this information? I mean, before you had, that great big thick book. And if
Right,
anybody knows what the Sears and Roebuck catalog used to look
right,
like, or what
exactly.
the big
Yeah,
thick telephone books
right.
used to look like, that's what your book was like, full of information. So how did you find all of that information to
Well,
put
through
in there?
government documents. Yeah, I find the government documents. And my first New York Times bestseller was a book I plagiarized from the government.
Oh,
See, nothing in the government is copyrighted, so you could take anything from the government and sell it. So there was a book of the government printing office called the Catalog of Federal Domestic Assistance. And I found that book. I cut and pasted it because it was huge. And I
right.
sent it to New York, Penguin Books. They published it. It took them 6 months to, I don't know, do what. The government did a pretty good job. Spending millions of dollars doing this. And I went out and did talk shows and became a New York Times bestseller. And I didn't write a lick. I tried to find that English teacher who flunked me in college.
Yeah. Yeah. I've got a writing workshop tonight,
Oh,
and
really?
it's write your book in 90 minutes, and you really
Oh, really
can write your
wonderful.
book in 90 minutes.
Yeah, well,
And
nowadays, yeah.
it's like, you don't have to have that college degree. You don't have to be a
Absolutely.
writer already. You don't have
Right,
to know how to spell. You don't have to know grammar. You just
right,
need to get those thoughts out of your head and onto paper or on your laptop, or
right,
put it in a digital recorder.
right,
You just got to get them out. Sometimes you just need a little
right.
structure to do that. But yeah, it's like, yeah, look at me now.
Right. Yeah, anybody. Man. A kid who flunked English all his life. We got 2 New York Times bestsellers. I'm proof.
There you go. Wow, two of them. What's your other bestseller?
Same topic. I think it was called.
Okay.
First one was called Getting Yours, and the next one was Information USA. Then I did a whole bunch of other books for New York. But I didn't make much money until I started publishing myself, and then
Yes. Yeah.
that's when you got all the money.
Well, you gotta pay your cover artists and illustrators and stuff
Right,
a little
right,
bit, but and your editor is gonna
right,
do all that spell checking and everything for you.
exactly.
Yeah, when I have my text message, it's like, man, I wish I could have somebody edit my text messages
Oh God, yeah,
or
I'm
send
terrible
them
at
because I get so fast.
I feel sorry for the people reading my emails and text messages because I'm terrible at spelling and
My family knows. It's like,
yeah,
okay, we'll
exactly.
figure it out. And they do so well, so
Right. Oh, I found
there's
something.
always got to be somebody in the family.
I don't know if people in Texas are affected by as much as we in Washington are by what Trump's antics today. And so everybody, I mean, nobody knows what he's going to do. And so everybody's laid off of work and things like that. And I just found out that he set up a hotline number at FEMA for people who are have involved with human-caused disasters. How do you like that?
Oh, wow.
So he has a hotline. FEMA has a hotline for people in human-caused disasters and to deal with that stress. And here's the 800 number, 800-985-5990. 800-985-5990. And Trump's paying for this hotline at FEMA. And it's to cope with stress as a result of any natural or human-caused disaster.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, I love making jokes out of stuff. To see the comedy in life is just precious.
Oh, you've got to look at the fun side of it. Otherwise, you're so sad all the time.
Exactly. You don't get out of here alive, so you might as well have fun doing it.
That's
and life's going to beat you up no matter who you are. You're going to get beat up. That's part of being human. So they're going to take your punches at you.
Just enjoy it while you can.
Exactly. Enjoy the good part and ride through the bad.
So, did you have once the internet really started taking off and we talked a little bit before that people just don't buy reference books like they used to and things like that. So that had to be a challenge to all of a sudden you've got this going and now the world is changing. What were some of the challenges you went through during that?
Trying to make a living.
Yeah.
People stop buying reference books.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it took me many years trying to figure out. But now I came up with something that by accident, too, that is better than anything I've ever done, helping people in a better way because of the technology. Because of the technology now, I have what's called a community. I didn't know it was called. To me, it was a newsletter, but it turned into a community online where people help each other get government funding. So it's not me. So I got 12,000 people that are, is that for me?
Sorry. They're moving cattle beside us.
Really?
We live way out in the country. So the dog's like, there's someone on the road. And it's like, well, yeah, it's a quarter mile out there. Don't worry about it.
But it is we got 12,000 people that help each other. So when they get a grant, they help other people, show them how they got the grant. Yeah. And
awesome. That's really
yeah,
great.
and it's just wonderful. And every day we have 3 or 4 hours of members who explain how they got grants, and you can ask them questions. So it's a Zoom call, an open Zoom call that you could just log in and ask the people who got grants how they got it. And so that's like 4 or 5 hours a day. And what also surprises me is that we became, I just wanted to make a living and pay my rent, but we became so profitable that we give out now like $50,000 every month to members, just in grants,
awesome.
personal grants to members. So if we make money that month, we give it out, the profit after we pay ourselves, to members. And we give out free laptop computers too, about 30 every month, because you really need a laptop. Some
people are going to want to know how to get in on that.
Right, exactly. And because so many people try to do it on their phone, and you can't do it on your phone. I mean, you can, and people do it, but it's a lot easier with a laptop.
Use your phone for actually calling people and talking to the person.
That's the important part. You need that phone because you need to call people. But to fiddle with the application, it's best to have a laptop. And that's what we do. So that's why it's better than I ever thought. And the success stories now are just incredible to me.
That's awesome.
And that's.
So how do people get a hold of your community? Are you still accepting people?
Leskohelp.com. Leskohelp.com. And that's how you sign up. It's $20 only. And I used to charge tens of thousands of dollars to rich people. They'll pay anything if they could get more money. But I got bored of helping rich people, and they don't need you, and you don't feel wanted. No, that's not a fun life, not to feel wanted. So if I have something that could help somebody else, it's my obligation,
right,
help them learn about this. And that's been a struggle, and I feel I have about maybe 10, 12 years left yet to do this. To still be around to be able to do it, I guess is really what it is.
Awesome. I love that. Yeah, and that's one thing. When you love what you're doing, it's not a job. It's what you love to do, so you want to do it for as long as you possibly can.
No, I haven't worked in 50 years.
That's awesome. I love that. So besides housing, rent, things like that, is there help? So many people I'm talking to now are looking for help to take care of their parents that are getting older.
Absolutely. There's 2 places to go. You go to that Find Help, and you put in caregiver. And you'll find dozens, hundreds, or whatever.
Wow.
It's incredible. The other thing is the Elder Care Locator. Let me. Don't lose you and get you that 800 number. Yeah, okay, write this down. Okay. It's 800 677 1116. 800 677 1116. And you call that number, and it'll hook you up with your local area office on aging. Now, any one place is as a funnel doesn't everything. So if they say there's nothing for you, you can't believe that. They don't know anything for you. So then you go like to findhelp.org. And I'm going to go and see where I live. Findhelp.org. And I put in my zip code because I know that. And I'm going to put caregiver. Every state has lots of programs for caregiver. Oh, of course you have to spell it right. Let's go.
Not the only one.
My fingers don't work as fast as my brain. So,
That's right.
where I live, there's 470 organizations that provide caregiver support. 400.
That's nice.
I know. So that's right. It's there. and you have to know where they're located. See, what the default is to go to Google, and you won't find it there. You just find people that say it sort of sounds like they are, but they're getting money from it. And you don't want to do that. I don't know what more to do to get people educated on this. But it's fun because it keeps me busy, and it's a challenge every day of my life. And we live in a society now. I mean, this is, to me, the most devastating chart I ran into recently. This shows you the percentage of poor people there are in each developed. My camera is AI, so it does. And this shows you a chart of the richest 30 countries and their poverty rate. We're number one, 17.2% poverty rate. For every average is about 9-10%, and we're 17%. So we have more people in poverty in America. I know that. How do we get away with that? You know, it's just
you have to be your camera down.
I know.
It's just, I'm shocked. I mean, I knew that it was a lot. I didn't realize how high it was.
Exactly. How could we be? Well, we're number one.
Yeah. Don't want to be number one in that, though.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's a pity. So that's what our neighbors are living through. And that's why, and it seems like the new administration isn't doing much about that yet. I'm not sure what that is.
Yeah. And it is. It's crazy that we are such a wealthy country.
Exactly.
That our poverty level is so high. We have more
billionaires than anyone else. We're number one.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. You know, somebody said to me, the money is there. People don't take it with them when they go. The money still stays here, so it's always there. You just need to know how to reach out and grab it.
Exactly.
And it's like, okay. And you can learn. You can learn how to do that. And people are making a lot of money teaching you how to do that.
Absolutely.
But you need to well, let me say it this way. Somebody had said to me, if I want to go learn from someone who is wealthy how they handle their finances, how they do things a certain way, I need to pay them for that. I can't expect them to pay me to learn from them. You know, it's just not right. So if I take them out to lunch, I'm going to take them to a nice place and I'm going to pay for it. It may be my paycheck that I'm using for that, but if they see that, they're going to know that I'm serious, that I really do want to learn, and then they're going to give me the information, and we go from there. So, always thinking, well, you owe it to me because you make more than me. That's not the attitude to have.
No, that's selfish. But we have organizations that do that and get paid to help you. And that's what I'm trying to teach people. You have an option than paying rich people to teach you.
But that's good. It's good to know that there are options out there that, you know, because some people are having a really hard time. Well, we just saw the poverty rate was so high.
Right.
Some people have a really hard time. I mean, they're not making it from paycheck to paycheck, and they're always, you know, taking from this to pay for that, and the next month they do it just the opposite direction, and, you know, alternate what they pay or when they pay. So they're not really going to get anywhere, and having to pay somebody to teach them how to get to what they need to do or what's available out there, that's just not an option for them. So these are really great suggestions, going to the findhelp.org, or .gov, find the .gov or the .org sites. Stay off of Google. Yeah. Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. So, being a TV celebrity, even though it's advertising, not even though, but, you know, it was in advertising, was that, I mean, people had to recognize you. Was that kind of difficult to go through? Was it different at first when everybody started recognizing, oh, hey, you're that guy on TV?
Yeah. No, I mean, we all have egos, so it's nice to be recognized. I think all of us want to, there's part of us want, sometimes it's too much or whatever. But
Yeah.
it never was, because to me, I always felt, I never thought it would happen to me.
Oh, yeah.
Just a kid from a coal mining town in Pennsylvania, people would.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so that I appreciate that every second it happens, because I know it could go away in an instant, and I wanted it so much, and I appreciate somebody taking a picture of me, helps them a little bit. I have nothing better to do.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. What a great attitude to have for it.
Well, we all want to be bonded. I mean, I think what life is now, particularly at 81, spent most of my life trying to get stronger, faster, smarter. And at 81, all that's going downhill. I never get better at any of those things, but I feel I could love better.
Yeah.
And that's what I could do for the rest of my life, is learn how to love better. And you don't need anything to do that but you.
That's right. That's right.
Well, that's the thing I'm growing now as much as possible, is my heart.
Grow your heart. I love that. That's just wonderful. Yeah, I think a lot of us need to grow our hearts more.
Absolutely. And that's what feels so good inside when you do that. Even saying the word, I used to never even say the word until a few years. Yeah, because men don't, at least here. I thought if I said I love you, I had to marry you.
Yeah.
And I never even heard it in my house. We're all nice people, but we just never use that word.
Yeah. And it's
now,
interesting. You grew up in different places. In New Mexico, everybody gives hugs. Everybody says, I love you. It's just, part of the culture. And where I grew up in Oregon, and it's like, you just don't say things like that. Now, I'm a hugger. I'm a hugger from way back, hugs all the time. But I think that comes from my family, my mom's family being open and caring and really taking care of each other and whatnot. But yeah, and then a lot of people, it's like you give them a hug and they're like, "Whoa, what's this?"
Oh, I know.
It's more so now. It's more acceptable to be hugging now than it used to be. But the people will say right away, or they'll give you a little side hug, or touch the elbows, or whatever. I was like, "Oh, that's okay."
That's
great. You can have fun with that too. But I discovered a new way to hug. Now, my cousin taught me one way. I'll teach everybody this. So if you want to give someone a hug, like I could give you a hug right now. You take your right hand, put on your left shoulder, take your left hand, put on your right shoulder, and squeeze.
Great.
Now, the other thing, my friend, she came back from I don't know, some kind of event she was at. And she says, I learned how to give the right hug. I'm like, okay, what are you talking about? Everybody usually hugs, right shoulder to right shoulder, but you don't. You go left shoulder to left shoulder because that's where your heart is.
Oh.
And sometimes you can really feel a person's heart. It's just amazing. And it's like, whoa, what is that?
Well, next time I'll bring a stethoscope.
Yeah, there you go.
Really see what's going on. Yeah.
Thank you for joining us today on Wisdom on the Front Porch with your host, Ellis Kirkpatrick. You can find us on our website, wisdomonthefrontporch.com, see previous episodes of the podcast, and view issues of the magazine. Did you know you can submit questions, leave reviews, or suggest topics? You can also tell us where your favorite front porch location is and what it means to you. We hope you gain value and insight from today's or previous talks. We appreciate your support for us so we can continue to provide value and expertise to you and others. Subscribe to Wisdom on the Front Porch magazine and join in next week when we bring you another great insight into the world of entrepreneur culture and lifestyle. Make today a great day. Always believe that something wonderful is going to happen.